Hello. So I feel quite lazy today, so I thought maybe I will properly introduce you to my sheet box, which is this Żuk in pristine condition. If you want to really know the history of this truck and all the technical details and stuff, go and watch this movie from an almost famous Polish YouTuber, but it has English subtitles and he knows his stuff, so he will explain it better than me. But in short, in a communist era, when we were sadly under the Russian influence, or Soviet, that's more correct, we needed a truck, or Polish economy needed a small truck for pretty much everything, so they came up with this. And in the beginning it had a flathead engine, which was as we all know, Soviets didn't really invent anything except hunger, and let's not go there. They basically stole some 6-cylinder engine from Americans, but they thought the common man shouldn't ever need 6 cylinders, so they chopped 2 of them off. And so it had a 4-banger flathead, a little over 2 liters, and I think this engine was stolen originally from Buick, but maybe I'm probably wrong, so I will put all the details on the screen, like the displacement in imperial units or freedom units, and all the other stuff would be visible for you. Then Polish engineers, after some years, because the engine was pretty much from the 50s, and believe me or not, this was produced till I think 2000 in pretty much unchanged form, which was way too long. But yeah, so they've changed a few things. They changed the head, yada, and so now it's not a flathead anymore. It has the cam is still in the block, but it has overhead valves, so it's still 2.1 liters. It has 70 horsepower instead of 50, so it's way underpowered. Too lazy to open the engine cover in the cab. It's a pain in the ass, and it chugs fuel like a 6-cylinder, so at least I've got that. And it has a nice sound. I don't know how, but it still sounds a bit like a pre-war era engine, at least to my ear, but I might be a bit deaf, so despite it being pretty small overall, it's a 1-ton truck. The ride is quite weird when it's empty, because the back is very stiff and the front suspension is very soft, because there was no front suspension available for it. So to cut the cost and all the other thing, they took the front suspension from a passenger car from Warsaw, which was a Russian Pobieda, for like a license and shit. Not quite sure how, but we just, yeah, we were allowed to produce Warszawa in Poland, because it was a copy of a Russian car. So the engine also was from Warszawa, and the gearbox, and I think that's it. I'm not sure about the rear axle, but yeah, the technical details are not my strong suit. So where was I? Yeah, so the frame is very solid, and the one ton, it's only a suggestion. I know that people were overloading them all the time, so it carrying 2 or 3 tons was pretty much normal. The only thing that didn't last very long was this front suspension. Everything else, no problems. So yeah, I bought it because I'm stubborn and stupid, and I just wanted to have something a bit older, simpler. Okay, so I was choosing between a brand new 2-axle trailer to tow behind my Jeep, but Jeep was broken all the time and still is. Italian engine and Polish neglect. It's not a good combo. So yeah, for the price of this trailer, I bought this piece of shit, and I spent way too much to make it roadworthy. Maybe that's the good word, but yeah, that's a different story. So I bought it to just haul shit to my land, and generally to feel a bit like a bogan or hillbilly, or however you want to call it, because I always felt that I just need to do this kind of stuff to be happy. So I just do it now, constantly searching for some free stuff to haul, or just, you know, thinking about what would be the next stupid thing to do with this, just looking for excuses to drive it. It has a 3-speed transmission, and the I don't know what's the max speed. I've tried it and it goes to 100, but it's not a pleasant experience. So when it's empty, I try to keep it under 80 and under 70 when it's loaded, because for drum brakes, when it's loaded, they don't really want to stop it, they just slow it down. The cab, okay, there's a lot of mess in there, but it's to be expected. It has no sound deadening at all, just bare metal everywhere. This, just a piece of rubber, and that's it. And that's just I don't know, it's some sort of very thin plywood, may I say, something like that. And it has nothing, so there's no power steering. It has assisted brakes, but that's it. And for now it's bone stock. The only thing I added was the oil temp sensor, because I just wanted to check if when it's loaded and when I'm pushing it, it's not overheating the oil, because I don't really want to kill this engine. But besides that, and 2 USB ports, and this light, it's bone stock. Oh yeah, and the tires. I've put the 80 tires on it in hopes that it will go a bit better in these conditions. And I wouldn't call it a success. It is better than before, but when it's empty, it's hopeless. It can get stuck everywhere when it's empty. I mean, all the trucks like this have this issue, so maybe it's not Żuk's fault. But yeah, it really needs a rear locker. I'm thinking about it all the time. Every time I get stuck, which is quite often. But yeah, at least they look nice, and the turning radius is even worse than before because they are much wider than the stock tires. I probably forgot to say a lot of things I wanted to say on my way here, but I just forget stuff all the time. So if you've got any questions, just post them in the comments. So yeah, that's a Żuk, Polish 1-ton truck. Okay, I think that would be it. I guess thanks, and see you in the next one.